So yeah, I was thinking like more of like a Q&A. So I'll do like a coaching, and
Okay.
if you have any questions, it's I think it's even better like when you want to learn, so you can speak as well, because sometimes you listen, but you don't record everything. So when you engage, sometimes it's better to have more to remind yourself what was in the meeting. So if you have any questions, let me know, and that's how I'm gonna do it. So maybe yeah, I'm gonna start with the fact that I went back to my videos in my pictures in my iPhone, and to remind me when I started to do like a lot of videos, right? A lot of stories, a lot of posts, and this was back in 2019. So it's like 7 years ago. Before that, I did not do a lot, and I remember that it wasn't like that popular doing stories and doing Facebook stories, Instagram stories. People were posting in Instagram back in the days, 2014, 2015, 2016 posts, and Facebook posts as well. But then around maybe 2018, sorry, 2019, stories began to came up, and people that did stories at the time had a lot of attraction because no one did stories. It was a new thing. And today, what I see in my social media, I don't have 3 million people following me, but I do have a lot of realtors, a lot of clients. So we get a lot of clients from that, and half of my views are from my stories. So, and even more sometimes. So that's kind of crazy because when you do a post, you would think that this is how you're gonna get new people in and people reacting, but the fact is, at least half of it is from my stories. So when I say stories, it's 24 hours. So when you post something, it's gonna state on your profile. But when you post a story, it's just 24 hours, right? And
Do
sometimes it's linked.
you,
Go
Sacha, a
ahead.
question for you. With the stories, because I heard somebody say now that if you post more than like two or three, then Instagram, like it's like shadow bans you because then they want to allow it for others to be able to have stories up.
Yeah,
Have you noticed a change? And do you do stories where you're like talking to the camera, or is it a story where you just like put one of your posts and send it up to your story and just leave it there?
yeah, it's a great question. What I see from my account, because every account is different, right? Every algorithm is different. It's like the matrix, So what I do is my first three stories have a lot of views, right? And like you say, after that, if I do 20 stories a day, they
Hmm.
get less engagement. It's like it's very, you can see it. It's not like that. It goes back, it goes, under. So what I think is that the problem with doing just three stories is that you might do a stories, like you say, on one of your home that you want to sell, and maybe of
Uh-huh.
your kids, but maybe the people that are following you don't really care about your kids, and they don't really care about your homes. What they care is maybe you are an athlete, and they connect with you because of your athlete aspect, right? So
Mm.
if you don't do the athlete stuff, well, you're gonna lose these people, so because it's all about communities, you guys know. So let's say you have a real estate communities. These people are gonna see your listings. They're gonna like it, and that's good. But if you want to have more than like real estate community, have a sport community or something else, you need to do very like a lot of stories and a lot of posts, just not in the real estate aspect. And that's the number one error that people do. Number one mistake is that they just do real estate, like so sold, new listing, but nobody cares. That's the real truth. Nobody cares about your new listings and your new home sold, you know. Maybe your team's gonna is gonna like it, and even them, they might not really care, you know. So I think it's good to have this so people can see you are a realtor, but at the same time, this is not your primary stuff, you know. It's just it's secondhand stuff. So you want to, like, let's say, Andrea, you do like a lot of skiing, snowboarding, whatever, and this is your hobby and everything. You should have this more than your real estate aspect, you know, because
Hmm.
people wanna connect with the human Andrea, and not like the real estate too much, you know. So of course it's good.
Yeah.
They need to know your real estate. So when you have your Instagram, because nowadays Instagram, it's great. I still find more leads in Facebook in myself.
Oh,
uh,
really?
yeah, than Instagram.
Do you have like a Facebook page, or is it just your personal profile?
I have both. I have both.
Okay.
But people are gonna engage with my profile, because
Okay.
you cannot do advertising, paid advertising with personal Facebook. So let's say
Okay,
Sarah,
so you have to have a page.
yeah, you have to have a page. But the thing is, you don't want just the organic views. You want the paid views, but you don't want just the paid views. You want a little bit of both, right? Because both work.
Yeah.
So it's very important, you know, to get your stuff going there, but it's a work in progress. And the number two second biggest mistake with the social media, it's that people say, I'm going to go on social media and do a lot of money, you know, but that's not how it works, you know. Social media, for me, I think for the average realtor, it's a bonus. You need to be
Mhm.
there, but it's not the first most important thing, and not even the second most important thing. It might be the third, or even the most important thing for me is calls. And I think for a realtor, it's gonna be calls even in 2026. So it's the priority, because social media is like chance, it's luck, you know, because some
Mhm.
people can do a video and it's gonna pop and everyone's gonna like it, and I can do the same video and nobody's gonna like it. Why? Because it's not everyone that has the maybe the profile that's gonna get millions and millions of views, you know. Some realtors in the social media, what they say is, they say, oh, you're gonna make videos, you're gonna make money, and a lot of people's gonna follow you. But the truth is, no, it's not everybody that is maybe looking great, or has a nice camera angle, or has every, maybe they're not comfortable with that. So it's not true. But I can say that everyone that does calls or door knocks will have results. That is guaranteed. The more calls you're
Yeah.
gonna do, you're gonna have a result.
Yeah, and I find like when I like that you're saying that, because when I started on social media, I got like maybe two deals out of it,
Yeah,
but then, most of the deals will come from just calls and follow-ups and open houses, right? So
yeah,
then I stopped doing social media. I'm like, oh, screw this. It's too
yeah,
much time. But then I started finding that people really do go on social media for credibility, because they want to see that you're actually like working.
yeah. Exactly. It's a
So,
credibility check, like you say. Of
yeah.
course, there's some people that they have lead magnets and everything, and it goes well. But let's talk about the average realtor and
Mhm.
how we can help the average realtor get better. I don't think it's gonna be with videos and posts. You know, gonna help for sure. But even if you have a million views on your posts,
What do you mean get better? Like sell more houses?
sell more houses, and
Yeah.
even get, because when you speak to the camera and when you speak, you know, like with videos and everything, you get a little bit better communicating. You communicate better. You know why? Because
Yeah.
it's like the people on TV. Why do they communicate that great? You know, it's because it's practice. You know, so when you
Yeah.
practice on a camera and it's stressing you, and you know you're like, oh shit, I would do something else. You know, well, you just get better. You don't even notice it. So when a client's gonna call you, or you're gonna call a client, it's gonna be easier because you're one on one with him. You know, maybe you were having 50 people looking. When you do a videos, there's like thousands of people. You know, sometimes hundreds, sometimes millions of people seeing your videos. So this is more, stressful. I think that just call someone and just ask him how he's going, and how can you help him, and giving him the data. So
Yeah.
I think people need to, it's not just doing one stuff, and that's the people that they take all of their time, and you see it because you work with realtors every day. They gonna say, okay, I'm gonna put couple hours on videos, and then they have no views, and then they quit. But then they
Hmm.
missed like hours of calls they could have done, or door knocks that they would have made instant revenue. But the videos don't work like that. It's not, it like you say, it's just for people that say, okay, Andrea, okay, is she a realtor? Let me Google Andrea, right? So first thing first, they're gonna see your Google page, right? So
Yeah.
even if you have 100,000 videos, you're gonna have your Google reviews page coming. So this is more important than videos. And then you have your page, you have Facebook, you have Google, you have Instagram. So there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah. I wish I had started the Google page sooner.
Yeah,
I would have
no,
had
same here.
more reviews.
Yeah, I know, but it's important. But at the same time, because I see it in my group, like I have young realtors that they're doing, trying to do videos and everything. But the fact is, if you're not known, even if you do thousands of videos, it's might have one video that's gonna pop, and you're gonna have a lot of viewers after that. But a lot of the reality is that people are stuck in like 500 followers, 1,000 followers, and that's it. So you won't get a lot of real of deals with that. So you should just
Mm.
do calls, and then maybe hire a professional social media person that can do your videos with you, because you're going to lose a lot of time, because he's the professional. He knows how to get people in. So when I did hire a team of social media, I think, we've been like from 4,000 followers on Instagram to 10,000. So that helped a lot. But I had a lot more views on my videos as well. So just not more followers, but a lot of views as well. So
Mhm.
I think the best thing would be to work hard, do the calls, do the no, door knocks, and when you have money, you hire professional. That's how I would do it, right? And of course, you can do house tours in between. You can do stories. You can help, clients with stories and everything. But if you want to post some stuff and have some real views, you need to go with a professional in the real estate. Because if you do, I don't know, like gym thing, you can do a lot of views without any professional stuff, right? You can see sometimes on Instagram and Facebook, TikTok, people are just taking their phone and they filming them, and they have millions of views, right? But that's gym. Everybody's interested in gym and seeing people work out. Not everybody, but a lot of people. So, but when you see a realtor selling a home, people don't really care, you know? So that's the truth. People don't care about that. So you need,
What do you do? I haven't been on your page in a while.
what I do is that, like for now, I'm focusing on the luxury aspect of our team. So of course I'm gonna
Hmm.
put a lot of house tour, but luxury house tour, and I'm doing a lot of stories of me, just my day as a realtor, So and since I don't have just like calls, I have, I'm going to the gym, I meet clients, I go to the restaurants. So people can relate. Oh, I've been to this restaurant. Oh, I like this kind of food. oh, I'm doing a CrossFit, maybe I'm doing IROX as well. So you got to connect with people another way than just static real estate open house posts, you know.
It's your lifestyle that
It's your
you're
lifestyle.
sharing.
Exactly. It's the lifestyle. And maybe your lifestyles will not connect with people, with some people, but guess what? This is the people that you're not going to connect anyway with a transaction. So good. It's gonna push them away, and you want the other people, right? So that's the thing. People are scared of doing stuff or doing funny or whatever stuff to get out of their comfort zone. But the truth is, this is how you can get a lot of new followers. But like I say, I think number one thing again today is calls, because there's a lot of money to do right now, and social media is too wide. You cannot target just homeowners. It's like pretty much impossible. If you want to target homeowners, it's or like people with a lot of money, big homes in this area, it's kind of hard, especially in Canada. So that's why you got to do other stuff to attract them, right? And sometimes I have people in my gym. I go to the gym. Oh, I saw you in Instagram, So, or I saw you maybe in an advertising I was doing in my city. So it's pretty much you got to do a lot of stuff, So for the realtors that are listening, I think the best thing is to get, especially if you start, you go to a big team, you go to a team that has a structure. Let's say Metro City, let's say whatever where you are in the world, and get a structure. So you need to focus just on your calls, because this is how you're gonna make money. So, and if you can do calls and people know your team, because they're not gonna know you, they're gonna know your team, then you can have some result and say, hey, can I come see you guys? Maybe we can grab a coffee. I have some nice data for you. So I have a lot of energy to give you. So maybe, we can have appointments, and then appointments, listings, sales, commission, and then you can maybe start to do videos professionally and consistently, because consistency constancy, I'm not sure about the word, but you got to do it more, because some people, sometimes you see them, they post and they stop, but what's going to happen is like, it's like going to the gym. If you go hard for 2 weeks but you don't go for a month, it's like you never been to the gym. So it's the same thing as videos. If you don't just do it consistently, it's not gonna work. So that's the number one. It's like the calls. You cannot do 2 weeks full calls and then stop for the half of the year. It's not gonna work. You should do an hour or two calls for every 2 days of the week. So every week you do calls and you're consistent on it and you're doing great, and your speech is the same thing in the videos in social media. You got to post pretty much every day. And like Alex Hormozy says, uh, this guy is like, he's all in, he's all out. His wife too. So they post like a lot of times a day. They can post sometimes 4 times a day, and they're big. They're not like, they don't even need to do that, but they know that every post they're gonna have maybe this one person more that's gonna maybe buy their coaching, buy their stuff. So I think it's important for realtors to put social media in, and videos and stories, but they need to put themselves, or their family, or stuff that is human. Because if you look like a robot, and people don't want to engage with you, they're not going to call you. They need to call you, because you won't have their numbers. If you don't do lead gen, they need to come to you and say, hello, Sacha. Hello, Sarah. Hello, Andrea. I hope all is well. I wanted to sell my home, whatever. Well, that's good. But the only way you're going to have him, it's not just him or her. It's not just doing like stories of a home. because if they're not your friend, they're not gonna be your friend because of that story of the home, you know. They're gonna be your friend because they saw you at the gym. They're gonna be your friend because maybe you sold the home of one of their friend, and then they saw your real estate and they saw that yes, you're a realtor, but you're accessible as well. Because if you're not accessible, they're not gonna come to talk to you, you know.
Yeah, like making you a real person.
Yeah, exactly. So you know, like everything, it's easy to say, but it's harder to do. So
Yeah.
you know, like what I
Yeah,
say,
I find what I don't like about social media is share like when people share too much of their personal lives. Like I don't like that. To me,
yeah,
I don't really
I understand, and I think you know you're more than a private person, and me too. I like to have my private stuff, uh, but you know, it's that's all about you, and you know, like a lot of clients, they are very private, you know. So sometimes if you are too much there and you give too much information about your clients or you speak too much about your clients, they're not gonna call you because they don't want to be your next uh videos, right? So that's what I
care.
say to my realtors. I'm saying, yeah, you want to attract sellers, especially, okay, but the sellers you want to attract, they want a private life. They're very private people, you know, especially in the luxury properties. They want their life private. This is what they need. So if you're too much there and pushing too much stuff on the social media and talking about your past clients, they're not gonna call you, right? So and that's the thing. So a lot of people are like, oh yeah, it's storytelling, storytelling. That's 100. I agree 100%. It's storytelling, but don't tell the story about your clients because for me, I like privacy sometimes as well. And if especially if I am let's say a rich seller, we all want big house. Nobody's gonna say I don't want to sell a big house. It's percentage. Everyone wants to have the biggest percentage. And I own a luxury home and I'm private with my family. I don't want everyone to know that I own a $5 million home. And I see a guy talking about his past clients. Do you think I'm gonna call him? No way, right? So and that's sometimes I see that with realtors. They're like, hey, you know, my last client, he was crazy, and then the other guy came around and the dealer was bad and they had to negotiate this. Nobody cares. That's first. And secondly, the people that cares, maybe it's not your the people that you want to do business with. So
Yeah.
so you know it's there's a fine line. So I'm not saying I have the truth and everything. I'm not a guru, but at the same time, you know, I know what works and I know what doesn't work, and it depends on what client do you want. That's very it because you can do everything in social media, everything finds it funny, but you're gonna attract a lot of people, but maybe not the people that you want. You know, here we do a lot of luxury home, so we want to attract people that has you know these kind of homes, these kind of lifestyles, and if we do everything, they're not gonna really like it. And the you know, but some people they can say, hey, I don't care about luxury. I just want to sell the most homes possible. Maybe they can be more open and you know everyone's accessible to that. So it's it depends what you want, but they need to be careful because sometimes it's not about just postings because posting it can be detrimental to your business. You know, it's not because you post that it's good. Some people post some stuff and then they have problem with the real estate chamber, whatever. So you know, it's not just posting. Is you think about it, but at the same time, don't think too much. You know, because if you think too much, you're just gonna not gonna post it. So
Not too,
there's
yeah.
this line, you know, and I'm pretty sure Andrea, sometimes you think about it too much, and the fact that you think about it too much, you don't post something that maybe could have been good or just could help some people. But, hey, wow, okay, Andrea, it was a nice video. Thank you for sharing that. But maybe you're not gonna do it because maybe you think too much about it, you know. So sometimes that's the thing. And for me personally, the videos that I planify, and put a lot of time and professional and perfect. These are the worst video for my views. Like
Oh
it's
no.
crazy, you know. Some videos I put hours and not good. And my biggest videos, it's a 15-second thing. So
Yeah.
15 second of tech, genre, I'm thinking right, okay, now, yeah, I have something to share right now, and boom, like millions of views sometimes. So this is crazy, you know. So I think for a realtor, the best thing is take your phone and just talk to the camera, right? That's it. Like don't think about crazy script, crazy background, crazy whatever. Take your phone and give some advice or give a story or like do something. But just taking your phone, people, and the face, because the face is very very important to have attraction of for the views, because it's like the advertising, when you see just a text, you don't care on the highway, but then when there's faces and a text, you care, right? It's the same thing. So your mind is like that. This is how the human is. When they're gonna send a human, they're gonna analyze him, analyze her, see the text after that. But if there's just no faces, it's not gonna have the same result. So it's a very like interesting topic, but a lot of realtors, they're gonna say, yeah, you need to do that, and that's the only thing you need to focus on when you're new. But that's not true at all. For the average realtor, it's all about calls, all about follow-ups, and all about door knocks. That's the number three stuff. And then if you have time, because you will have time, you're not gonna do 12 hours of prospection and door knocking, because you're gonna be tired after 2 hours. Then you have another maybe 8 hours, 6 hours that you can do videos, that you can do follow-ups. So there's a lot of time. It's just that people put their times maybe somewhere that it's not paying them now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. I like that. I like that perspective. Do you
Yeah.
find now, because you've been doing it for so long, is it mainly like you still obviously rely on your calls, but then you get a lot of traction from social media?
I have what happens with the social media, okay, is that your friend's gonna call you more. Let's say your friends that you don't see. You have a lot of friends like that. Let's say people that you graduated with, you know, you're not
Hmm.
gonna call them, but they're gonna see you on the social media. And these people will call you and they're gonna do business with you because you're active. But if you're not active on your social media, they will get the realtor that they see on their social media, right? So if you're not this realtor, you will say, "Oh shit, or whatever." Like, why did you pick this guy when we know each other since 12, 10 years old, 10 whatever, Well, I saw this guy because it's all about timing. Everything's the timing. So they saw this guy or this girl, but if you're not active, this is what's gonna happen, even if they are your friend. So, but if you are active, they have no choice. They know you and they know you're active. So they're gonna call you, right? So this is mostly for that. So, and then of course there's some people that they get new clients with the social media and everything, but it's it's a, I would say maybe 5% of realtors, they very they get a lot of listings with that and everything, but 95 of the realtors, the reality is that they're not going to have a lot of stuff going coming from the social media, right? So
Mhm.
why not just do your calls, your door knocks, and then do videos with the money you're gonna do, you know? So I think that's gonna have more impact.
Okay.
Yeah,
I love it.
Cool.
I like as a recap. So number
yeah,
one, be relatable, but you're not going to relate to everybody.
no,
Be consistent. You've done this for 7 years and
yeah,
now you're seeing the fruits of the labor. You have
yeah,
to be consistent and it takes a long time.
yeah,
Uh, and it's a tool. It's a tool in your arsenal. It's not your number one lead gen source, but it's a tool where it's also a business card. People are
yeah,
going to go and look at you online from
yeah,
your lead generation,
yeah,
and you'll generate leads from people you already know. Maybe some people you don't know, but the majority are the people you know that will pick you because you're in
yeah,
their face.
yeah.
Those are the key points that I'm getting out of this.
Yeah, that's it. That's you got the essence of it. It's and it's not perfect science. So the more perfect you are, the least people you will have. So that's very important. If you're doing like a house tour, you want it to be perfect, and even then, this is why there's not a lot of views. So you don't try to be perfect, and especially girls, they try to be perfect because they like to be great looking and everything, and that's good. You're gonna be perfect for your listing appointment, but if you want to have some views, it's not about being perfect, it's about being authentic. That's uh that's it. So some, and I know a lot of people know that, but they need to apply that. So I remember one of my realtors like, I know he's recording a video in the office, and it's like 10 a.m. and then 11 he's still there. I'm like, okay, and it's one video, it's not like 15, right? So 11 hours is still there. An hour later he's there. Okay, he did not go up, did not drink water. Then lunch arrives, so it's like 2 hours later, and he's still doing the same video in his office. And I'm saying like, what the fuck? What's up? It's been 2 hours. And he's like, man, it's not perfect. And I'm like, it's never gonna be perfect. And if it's perfect, it's gonna be it's gonna be very bad because people won't engage. You see? So, and he said, oh yeah, that's true. So, and then he just did it, and 15 seconds he had the whole video. So it's just to say that you don't need to be perfect, and if it's perfect, people are gonna see it as not good, or as, even AI. Sometimes when you think something is too perfect, you say, oh, it's must be AI, and people don't really care about AI, and so that's, they care about it for some reason, but not for video purpose.
That was going to be my follow-up question. So, we see a lot of agents that are
Yeah,
posting AI videos or their AI clone and
yeah,
they're doing all these crazy stunts.
yeah.
Is that because it's not relatable? Or is
It's
it cool because you use these technologies?
Yeah, it's gonna be cool in a couple months for people that know how to use it. But now I just find it cringe.
Okay.
I and because it's a trend, like they come, and then they like now everyone doing the AI pictures, okay? But like and the realtors are doing their, oh, this is me as an AI. It's okay, but the reality is that there's some people that are not in real estate that are laughing about your pictures in some private groups, so it's not because it's a trend that you need to jump in the trend, so sometimes it's cool, sometimes it's nice, sometimes it's funny, but you listen, you're there to make money at the end of the day and have fun, right? But some people, they just make money and they have no fun, which is not sustainable. And some people just make fun, but it's not sustainable as well. So you had to have this, but at the same time, I think the challenge for the people that are listening is, just don't think about it too much. take 15 minutes to think about it and post a story today. Post a story that with your face saying, "Hey, I hope everybody's happy, doing great. Just want to know that this happened right now. The stats, you can get out the stats of it, saying we just had the stats from February or January. This is the stats, and I just wanted to share with you. So if you have any questions, let me know. That's it. Just a quick story from that, and maybe you're gonna have couple per people seeing that, and the worst that can happen is you're gonna have people calling you. So that's
The
it.
worst that can happen.
That's the worst.
I
So
love it.
I don't know if you guys have any questions, but that was pretty much what I wanted to say about videos.
No, it
Andrea, do
was
you have any?
good.
No?
No, I don't have any questions. I mean, I have questions about Google Page, but I guess we could do another training on Google Page.
Yeah,
How to leverage the Google My Business page.
yeah,
But no, I agree with you. I don't post as much anymore just because I don't see the results. I see more results just like doing the regular stuff.
yeah,
But I do know that it's necessary because people will go and check on you.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's
You got to do it,
it has to be there.
yeah, and listen, like you're looking great. So it's not like, sometimes for people it's they don't really look great, and that's life. That's life. You guys look great, but there's some people that they don't look great, and life is like that. So if someone looks great, they have more higher chance to have attraction in their videos, more views, more everything. It's human nature. So if you look great, at least,
Take advantage of
yeah,
it.
exactly,
Sarah, you're gonna
You
be
have a
my
leg up.
biggest.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that's it.
Megan, I know you jumped in late. Did you have any questions you wanted to ask Sasha while we have him?
Yeah, I think I missed most of it. So sorry, I just saw your message.
Yeah, that's okay. We talked about, posting and being relatable, sharing your lifestyle, that it's a tool, that it's not going to be the number one way for you to get your clients, but your clients will look you up there. And that you'd use it as a business card. So and we talked about consistency and how the different things you have to do. Sasha has been posting regularly for 7 years. But I think on some of your things, Sasha, you've had over 4.7 million views.
Yeah,
You're obviously crushing it with the stuff that you're doing, but it was about being real and not being perfect, because being perfect,
yeah,
you'll get less of a result.
yeah. Perfection in videos. Well, I'm not talking about like a house tour. Like if your house tour is very bad, this is bad.
Right.
But
Okay. Keep
like,
it professional.
yeah, professional. But I'm talking about everyday story, everyday video of you or your family. It just needs to be authentic, but you got to do it, and people gonna relate on that.
So in terms of consistency, what do you recommend?
So, do you are you starting as a realtor, or it's been a while?
No, it's been a while.
Okay, and do you have a lot of, do you do videos now, or have you done videos in the past for like extended period of time?
Never extended, but I've done them here and there.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, so pretty much every realtor does that. So they do it here and there, and they miss a couple days, couple weeks. But what happens is that algorithm forgets you. So it's like you never did videos before, every time you start. So what I suggest is that every day you do at least one post. Okay. And it could look like, man, I don't have one post to share for people every day, right? But the reality is that you can always find something. You can always find something to put it out there: statistics, data, information, tips, and there's so much you can do, So, and if there's something that you like, just go and see TikTok or Instagram and replicate it at your 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 uh your taste, you know.
Perfect. That's
Yeah.
good. Thank you.
Yeah, I would do one, at least one post, and maybe the couple of stories. The more you can do, pretty much, because if you don't have like already like a database of people who following you, nobody's gonna unfollow you, right? Because you don't have a lot of followers. So me, the challenge is that I want to grow my followers, but don't want to lose the followers I have because I engage with them. So if I change too much my stuff, I'm gonna lose maybe so there's a fine line. But when you start, it's easy because you just need to put stuff out there and try stuff, you know.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Like when I post, I'll lose some followers, but then I'll also gain some followers. So there's
That's
always
good.
that fear of losing followers when you post.
That's good because it's like friends that, sometimes they shouldn't be your friends. So it's okay. It's a normal aspect of it.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. It's a pleasure, guys.
Wonderful,
Thank you,
Sacha.
Sasha.
Thank you for
It's a
your time. We
pleasure.
really appreciate it.
I hope I can see you guys soon, and
Yes. Yeah.
I want to
March.
see your videos.
Awesome.
Thank
All
All
right.
right. Have a great
you.
day, everybody.
Take care. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Goodbye.